Hello, Hanny here. Basically, I did a full day of work today from 9 till 9. I woke up basically because of because of the time change. Basically, the boss informed everyone on the group chat basically that yikes. Wait, 1 second. He informed everyone on the group chat about the time change, right? So I'm busy thinking, okay, I'm gonna set my alarm for 7 in the morning, and they say that the time is changing at 2 in the night. So yikes. So he said just be aware of the time change so that you don't mess up when you come to work. So needless to say, I set my alarm, but it was an hour later. So I wake up at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, heck, I gotta go to work. I'm late. I realized I started freaking out. So I messaged my supervisor, and she told me to take a taxi, and the work will pay for it. So I took a taxi. Thank God I arrived there on time, and the day went smoother than expected, and did everything that needs to be done. Thank God everything went smooth, and then I came home. The driver drove me home. It's funny, this driver, his job is to basically drop you off at your house, but he doesn't like to do that. He'll do it for anyone else, but for me, he won't. He always tries to, I feel like, I don't know, they read energy, for some reason they feel like it's like a way of belittling someone, oh, you're not important, just get the hell out of my car, when he's getting paid for a job. My father taught me always that if you're gonna do a job, do it well. It doesn't matter how much you're getting paid, if you're gonna do a job, do it well, and do it the best. Do the best job you can, and put your heart into it, So I take that to heart, And my parents taught me so much, and they still teach me, now that I look back at my life and my upbringing, I'm so grateful for everything, Basically, I made myself a TikTok account because I don't know what made me convince me to get a TikTok account, but I don't know, I saw a few funny videos on there, so I'm like, hey, that could be a good place to hang out, And it's actually, whoever created this app is a genius, because it's like you're basically endless entertainment, and you can post whatever you want, and you get more views than YouTube or anywhere else, So that's interesting. And I was watching on Netflix. I was last night I wasn't in the best mood, So I basically went on Netflix and I started watching some crime show about the Sicily Hotel in California. And I was watching episode after episode, and they say the lady said in the manager of the hotel said that in the time that she was there, 10 years, 80 people were found dead in that hotel, So And the last one that really brought down the hotel was a girl that, Chinese American girl, and she had like bipolar disorder, and basically she disappeared, and there was no video footage of her leaving the hotel, but there was video footage of her in the elevator, and they ended up finding her in like a in the water barrel, like in the water tank on the roof, and that didn't put me in any better mood than I was in last night. And it's funny because smoking, it really affects your breathing, you know? It affects your throat, everything. Like, I noticed since I started smoking, like, it really makes a difference, you know? Anyhow, so I stopped watching it because it was just too depressing, you know? And on another note, I'm on this other app, this dating app, and this guy, he starts talking to me. I'm still talking to him now, and he says to me, I just want to let you know that he saw my YouTube channel, you know. So he's like not into this whole like culture of airing all your dirty laundry. You know, he's like a private person, which I understand, you know. But I told him like I like to speak on YouTube just to express myself. It's fun for me. It's like a hobby. And we got into this whole discussion. He says he's like really left wing, you know. You know? So I told him, okay, so like basically you believe in 1,000 genders, you're anti-Trump, and you're you're pro-Biden, anti-Trump, you know. He's done the Israeli army, you know, so that's also interesting when they do the army and then they come out so left-wing. He says he's an atheist. Personally, I think atheists are kind of I feel like for a person to get to the point of being an atheist, they have to have thought about, like, I believe atheists are spiritual people, you know, because they say they don't believe in God, but in order to come to the conclusion that there is no God, you have to have delved into the philosophy of God and searched for God and thought about God, you know. And like when you think about God so much, like I feel like atheists have gone through like a rough patch in their life where they felt like they have no one to talk to, you know, and they try to communicate with God and they feel like there's no one listening, you know. Like I personally have gone through moments like that, you know. But common sense tells me, first of all, I believe atheists are spiritual people. It doesn't matter. Like, God lives in them, inside them the most. More than a regular person, you know? Because they're constantly thinking about it. In order to come to the conclusion that they're an atheist, you have to have thought about it a lot, you know? And, yeah, so I also think that in order to be an atheist, you need to have a huge ego, you know? Because to think that there's nothing other than what you see and there's nothing more than you out there's no other forces out of nature or forces out there higher than you need to be kind of a little bit of an egocentric maniac, you know what I mean? Because like when I it's so dark in the video. It's so dark because like in order to like I whenever I fly, you know, on the aeroplane, you know, and I fly over mountains of like Poland, you know, and I see endless mountains and endless sea and endless sunsets and sunrise, and it's like you get the feeling that you're you're not the only one out there. You know, there's like a very powerful force out there that's running things, running the show. You know? You don't need to call it God or whatever, but, you know, it's there's a force of nature out there. There's other forces besides us out there. It doesn't matter what you believe in, you know? So, yeah, and so then this guy got into another discussion about, like, I told him, you know, like, I'm right-wing, you know? Someone who's right-wing will believe, first of all, will be pro-religion, will be capitalist, will be, you know, will believe in conservative ideology, you know, like anti-abortion. I'm not really anti-abortion, you know, but now that I'm talking about abortion, I feel like these days, the fact that abortion is so pushed by the media and society, you know, it's almost like it's discouraging, it's basically taking away from womanhood, you know? It's like discouraging women from actually being a woman and carrying through with a pregnancy and doing a feminist thing, like being a mother and caretaker and being feminine and loving, and, you know, in a way I feel like it's instead of encouraging women and helping women out with their pregnancy and encouraging them to, you know, be in their body and be a woman and go naturally with their body, they're kind of pushing them to get abortion, you know, and not experience what their body would give them, you know. So it's kind of like, I think abortion is kind of like pushing women not to be women, you know. Like, even though, like, I believe women should be allowed to have abortion, of course, but the way it's done is it's kind of, I feel like it's too extreme either way. The right and the left are too extreme, you know. Why am I getting into abortion? Okay, so I'm here to extend my fortune reading abilities with the cards. Anyone who comes live right now and wants me to do them a reading is welcome. You know, is welcome to get a reading, a live reading. You can ask me your questions. You know, any questions you have, and I can see what the cards say about you and what's an answer to your question. But I don't see, there's no one here following me that's watching, so I guess I'll just call it a night, you know. Okay, have a good night.